Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Mastermind. I'm Paul Baxter, Implementation Coach for the Mortgage Mastermind Group. And this week we are focused on presentations. Yesterday we talked a whole lot about the different presentation types. We talked about lunch and learns and cocktail committees and coffee and Q&A and lots of different ways that you can create or do presentations that are outside the box that gets people to show up and puts you in front of your prospects. I firmly believe that presentations is one of those, top few things, those top 1, 2, 3 things that you can be doing in your mortgage business that can provide you the most amount of leads, referrals, and loans at the end of the thing. It's all in how you do it, though. You've got to do it the right way to be able to get the loans out of it. And that's what I want to focus on today. So we talked yesterday about the different types of presentations. Today I want to talk about how do you, after you've done a presentation, how do you turn that presentation into more loans for you? How do you turn that into dollars in your pocket? And so our focus today is all about turning those presentations into loans. Remember that the presentation itself is only the bait. That's the mindset that you have to go into a presentation with, that it's only bait. And the bait alone does not catch any fish. I promise you that. Bait alone does not catch fish. You've got to have a plan for landing the fish. You've got to have a hook, and you've got to have the right kind of line, and you've got to have a good rod that can put pressure and a reel that'll bring them all the way to you. That's part of your formula. That's what we're going to be focused on today is what do we do? We've got a nice bait. We've got a good presentation. That's our bait. How do we land those big fish? And it all starts and it all revolves around your follow-up plan. That's how you turn presentations into a loan. And I could end the presentation on that, and hopefully that will stick in your mind, that the only way to turn a presentation into loans is to have a good follow-up plan. You're going to use your follow-up plan for both your one-on-ones and your group presentations. And the reason that's the only way to get loans is have a good follow-up plan is because it's really, really unlikely that 10 people at your presentation are going to walk up to you at the end and say, wow, that was a great presentation. Here's 3 buyer leads for you to call for me. It's just not going to happen. The presentation, remember, the presentation is meant as bait. It's meant to brand you as different. It's meant to brand you as an expert on a subject. It's meant to get you in front of people where you can be on a pedestal and be a presenter of something of great value that could benefit their business in lots of different ways, or educate them on a subject. And that subject, we're going to talk about those things moving forward, but you've got lots of subjects that you can choose from. You've got programs. Educate them on the benefits of reverse mortgage and dispelling the myths. Educate them on how an FHA 203K streamline is different than an FHA 203K full program. Educate them. Provide them with information on how to build a Facebook neighborhood fan page. The reality is that people aren't going to walk up to you at the end, though, because you gave them this cool presentation and say, oh, man, I got to do business with you. Here's 3 leads. That's not going to happen that way. You've got to have a follow-up plan to turn a presentation into a loan. So you're going to start your follow-up plan with presentations especially. You have to have a way to track your progress. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and I believe that this is the #1 mistake that I'm going to speak specifically to mortgage lenders, that mortgage lenders make when they implement any marketing strategy, is that they don't have a good and proper way. They haven't thought through the tracking process. Consistency is the key to any of your follow-up plans, and if you're not tracking your targets or tracking your progress in your follow-up plan, how do you know where you are in it? How do you know what to be consistent with if you don't know where you are in the process? And this little image I found on the internet, proper tracking equals increased profits, and I believe that wholeheartedly, that you absolutely have to know where you're at in your follow-up process, or you're going to lose that consistency. And trust me on this, if you miss just one piece of your follow-up plan, all that effort that you did beforehand is now out the window because you've lost that little bit of consistency. Because remember, I firmly believe that consistency creates credibility. Credibility creates trust, right? And that's what we're going for. When you're trying to get them to know, trust, and like you enough to want to do business with you, consistency creates credibility. Credibility creates trust. Tracking is a key element to that because you've got to be able to stay consistent. This is the tracking sheet, and yes, before the question comes in, I am going to have this tracking sheet available for you to download with today's class presentation. So on a side note, Chris, don't forget when I email you today's PowerPoint, I'm also going to email you an Excel an Excel document that is a tracking sheet. Upload that with the documents so that everybody on the call has the ability to download this. You guys know me. I fully recommend that you create your own tracking sheets because you're more likely to use a tracking sheet that you've created because it makes more sense for the way that you want to track. However, I also understand that you may not know how to create that or have the time or ability to create that. So I wanted to provide you with something to track your follow-up plan with so that you have something and you can work from this. The fields that I've included, you're going to notice I've got first name, last name, email address, I've got a phone number, so I've got that contact information. I want to know what company they work for, and as you know, my follow-up plan includes a card in the mailbox. It is essential that I have either the work address or the home address, or if I can get it, both. Either one or both. You got to have an address to send them a card to. I want to know what presentation did they go to? How did I get this contact? Where did they meet me? Did they come to this presentation? If they went to multiple presentations, I'm simply going to click in here, put a slash mark, and put all the different presentations that they went to. I need to know. It's important to me because it's part of my follow-up that I be personable with them. It's important to me that I'm developing, not just trying to get a face, but I'm developing a relationship. And if I just never remember or don't know how I got introduced to Chris, I can never bring that back up. I can never say to Chris, hey, Chris, I was following up on that Facebook neighborhood page. Have you implemented that? And if so, how's it going for you? Or do you need some help implementing it? I can make that call because I know how I was introduced or how I got Chris onto my tracking sheet. Make sense, everybody? So that's important to me. It may not be important to you. So again, if you're going to do a tracking sheet, you can use mine, edit it to be your own, or create your own. Card sent. I want to know, yes or no, did I send them a card yet? Face-to-face. Have I had a face-to-face opportunity? Was it lunch or just coffee? So I'm going to differentiate that. Notice it's blank right now because I haven't had my face-to-face yet. Call 1, call 2, call 3, and all I'm doing is putting the date in that I made the call, right? And I've got that all the way up to call number 10, and then the last thing I've got is notes. To me, it's very important to take notes, and yes, it's an Excel sheet, so as you type stuff, it's going to be kind of hidden based on the cell. But if I want to see all the notes, I simply click in that cell box, and it's going to show them to me right up here. Call number 1, he has a lender. I overcame that objection. Oh, that's okay. I fully expect that you've got a lender, Mr. Agent. You wouldn't be running the great real estate business if you didn't. And I don't want to interfere with that relationship. What I'd like to do is get an opportunity to sit with you, learn more about your business, find out if there's some ways I can help you grow your business. If we get an opportunity to work together somewhere down the line, fantastic. If not, I've gotten a great opportunity to meet a really great real estate business owner. Do you have Thursday available at 2, or is Friday at 3 better for you? Call number 2, I got that old objection, too busy this week, and I overcame that objection. Well, I can certainly appreciate you being busy. You've got a great real estate business. I can imagine that you're busy. Listen, are you too busy for lunch? I would love to share a meal with you, sit down and my treat on your schedule, get to know you a little bit better, and see if there's some things I can do to help you continue growing your business. Yeah. Call number 3, LMOR, left message on recorder. Pretty simple there, so I left them a voicemail. Hey, This is Paul Baxter over at Legacy Financial. I was just following up with you. I know you're real interested in growing your business. I'd love a chance to talk to you about it sometime. Give me a call when you get a free opportunity, 555-1212. And then on call 4, I made 4 calls on the 24th, has a pre-listing appointment this week already. Oh, that's fantastic. I hope you win it. Now I know by taking that note, when I call him number 5, the first thing out of my mouth is going to be, hey, Chris, this is Paul Baxter over at Legacy Financial. I was just following up with you. How'd your pre-listing go last week? Shut up and listen. Great. Hey, listen, I've got some really cool ideas on how you can literally win every listing. Or, hey, I've got some really cool ideas on how you can get more of those pre-listing opportunities. I'd love to treat you to a cup of coffee and share those ideas with you. Why not? By taking notes, I know what to talk about in those next calls, right? And again, I am going to share this spreadsheet with you. You can have it, make it your own. Again, you can edit it. I highly recommend that you create your own, but again, I also want to provide you with something if you don't have the ability to do that. The next step after you've got your tracking formula, you've got your tracking set and in place, you're going to deploy your follow-up formula. You guys, I hopefully remember, a couple of months ago, I want to say end of September, beginning of October, we did an entire week on follow-up formula, what does it look like. We did a whole session on what to say in your follow-up and everything that goes with it. Now, I know that following up on presentations is a little bit different than that formula, and so I'm going to provide you with some scripts here as well. But your follow-up formula, you need to send an email to any and all attendees within 24 hours of your presentation, with or without a video. 24 hours. You want to keep that ether. What you're doing with your email is reminding them that you were the teacher, that you were the expert that showed them the cool thing. You want to call your targets within 48 hours of the presentation if it's a group presentation. Now, if it's a one-on-one presentation, do step 3 first and then call after delivery, because you've had that one-on-one presentations, which means you had the face-to-face. You're not calling to get another face-to-face. You want to get your card in front of them and then follow up again later on. That's your secondary follow-up, where you get an opportunity to ask for business. You get an opportunity to, find out, are they implementing the things that you talked about? Or you get an opportunity to talk to them about, hey, I've analyzed our conversation from our realtor needs assessment, and I've got some great ideas on how I can help you grow your business. Let's get together and I'll share that with you, right? After your one-on-ones. But for the general gist, you want to call the targets of any presentations you do with more than one person there within 48 hours. Again, you're reminding them of who the cool person is that taught them the cool thing. You're reminding them that you're the expert, and you're differentiating yourself yet again because you're on top of your follow-up. And then you're going to send a card to them in the mail. It is important to get the card out as quickly as possible. You want it delivered within a week of when you did that presentation. Again, remembrance. You don't want it to be out of sight, out of mind. You want to continuously remind them, and remind them very quickly. So within the first week after the presentation, they've gotten an email from you, they've gotten a call from you, and they've gotten a card in the mail from you. 3 contacts within the first 7 days of your presentation. That's differentiation. That's remembrance. Really, really great way to get those face-to-faces, because remember, that's our goal, is to develop a relationship. We know that the only way, or the best way, to develop a relationship is belly to belly. That's something we've talked about till we're blue in the face together. You guys, you and us all combined, we've talked about that quite a bit. So you've got your pattern down. Within a week, you're going to get 3 contacts out to them. You're going to do your follow-up formula. You're going to send them an email, you're going to call them, and you're going to send them a card. So what are you going to say in your email? I recommend that you have it pre-written. Somebody like Peggy uses Gmail. She can create a canned response. Somebody like Alan, I believe, uses Follow My Clients. He can create a card or a template all ready to go, ready to roll. All he's got to do is push the button on the right people. I know some people in here are using BombBomb. You can have this pre-written, ready to go. If you are going to do a video email, have it pre-recorded, ready to go. Now, I highly recommend, because you're trying to reiterate that you're the expert, you're trying to get that face-to-face opportunity, I highly recommend that you personalize these emails to the attendee. Your systems like your Follow My Clients or BombBomb is going to do that automatically. If you're doing Gmail, you are going to need to go in and put that name in there, unfortunately. And it's recommended that you pre-write it and just fill in the blanks kind of thing with the personalization. I want to pause here and read Jim's question real quick, because I want to make sure that we're clear on something, because I think I may have, I didn't realize that I had, if I said it and made it come across that this way, I want to clarify and make sure that we're clear on exactly what the presentations do. So what it says is, I agree with everything you're teaching, the importance of presentations, what to present, the importance of follow-up, but you're limiting the presentations to targeted realtors. To me, the advantage is to present to a lot of people that don't know who you are yet, and there lies the problem, in my view, with presentations, how to get butts in the seats. Are you going to cover promotion of the presentation to those that are not yet in your database or email list? Two things. First and foremost, when it comes to presentations, you're looking to get butts in the seats, but you're not limiting it to only the targeted realtors. You're bringing in realtors. Your limit is only 10 to 12 because you want that opportunity to generate a bonding atmosphere, a more inducive, an atmosphere that's better for creating a relationship. You're going to get more opportunity to bond with just a few people in a room as opposed to a whole bunch. But these are agents that don't know you. The second part of your question is, am I going to cover how to promote these? Absolutely. Now, tomorrow's class is not going to be that, but we're going to focus on these presentations for probably the rest of the month of December. And I didn't want to, it's not that I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I haven't divulged that to everybody yet, but realistically, I am going to be focusing the month of December on presentations. And yes, part of what we're going to talk about is how to promote them and how to have partners help you promote them. The reality of it is with presentations, there's a real easy way to do it where you don't have to do the promotion. Yes, you've got to create the literature to get it promoted, but then you provide that and somebody else fills the seats for you. And we're going to cover that. But it's for all agents. You want to bring in the agents. That makes it so that when you get a room of 10 agents there, you've got to do your research on the back end and know who your true targets are. You need to know who your true targets are. So if there's 10 in the room and only 6 of them are above average agents, well, guess who your follow-up is focused on? That's right, the 6 agents who are producers. The follow-up is where you're focused on your targets, Jim. Your goal is to get agents in the seat so that you have identified real estate agents that are seeing you as an expert, and now once you identify who your targets are, those people see you as an expert, and now you can truly narrow in and focus in on your follow-up program. And I hope that makes sense. And yes, we are going to be talking about promotion and things like that, but again, I want it to be very clear. This is to target agents who don't know who you are, and some of the people that are sitting in your seats that are coming to your presentations are going to be less than average agents or average or below agents. The key element is you know after the fact, or you're going to get a registration list. You do your research beforehand, and it's something we are going to talk about. This is another another class that we're going to be doing, is exactly how to focus in on the best people. And we're going to talk about exactly how to do that, how to narrow in, how to do it beforehand so that you've got a clear idea on who to focus your attention to during your presentation as well. Little ninja tricks like that can really carry the day and help you get to more loans. Okay? We are going to cover that stuff, and I'm glad that's clear. Awesome question. Awesome question. All right, so again, back to the email, pre-write it, have it ready to go, and just have some parts that you fill in the blanks. Hey, Freddie, just wanted to send a quick thank you for attending the Facebook Neighborhood Page presentation. If you have any questions or need any help putting it together, feel free to call me at 747-221-6649. I will be glad to help you. Your friendly neighborhood lender. Tied that all in, got my name, contact information, company name, a remembrance of who I am. Really easy to do. You just send that, have it pre-written and ready to roll. I would even go as far as, and I meant to highlight the Facebook neighborhood page in red, because that can change. You just keep the same email and just change out that one little piece each time you send that to whoever your attendees were, right? Know what you're going to say before you make those calls. And again, I wanted to provide you the scripts because the call and following up on a presentation is a little bit different than the call and following up with just an agent that you've targeted. And it goes, hey, Freddie, this is Paul Baxter with Legacy Financial calling. I just wanted to thank you again for attending the Facebook Neighborhood Page class on Tuesday and find out if you had any questions or need any help in getting it put together. And you're going to pause for the appropriate response. Now, it can go one of two ways. One of those things they teach you in sales is never ask a question that you don't know the answer to or the possible answers to. I firmly believe in that. So there's two possible options here. They can either have a question for you or they cannot have a question for you. If they do have a question for you, you don't have to answer it right here and now, and this is a great opportunity for you. If I'm making these calls, I would much prefer if somebody did have a question for me, because that's my opportunity to go for it. And that opportunity goes something like this. Oh, you got a question? Okay, I get that question quite a bit. You don't want them to feel like they asked you a stupid question, and you want them to feel like their question is valid. Oh, I get that question quite a bit. Tell you what, let's sit down and go through the steps together. That way all your questions get answered and you implement this strategy. I got Thursday at 2 or Friday at 3 available. Which works best for you? See how that opportunity changed based on them having a question? I just turned that into, well, I tell you what, let's get together. Let's sit down and go through it step to step. So that way I can cover all your questions and you can get your page implemented all at the same time. And then you go for the close. I've got Thursday at 2 or Friday at 3 available. Which works best for you? Always have your day and your times, two alternatives, two options available, because if you just say, let's get together and I'll help you implement this strategy, oh, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll do that sometime. And guess what never happens? No face-to-face ever happens. It just doesn't. But if you have a specific day and a specific time in mind, they choose one or the other, that's locked. That's in there, right? If they don't have a question, oh, that's great to hear. I hope the class was valuable to you. Listen, I would love to share a meal with you and get to know more about your real estate business. My treat, of course. I've got Thursday at 12 or Friday at 1 available. Which works best for you? And now you've made your niceties, and now you're just looking for your opportunity. You're going to not leave the call without your opportunity. You're acknowledging that they don't have any questions. Great to hear. I hope the class was valuable to you. And now you're going for your close. I would love to share a meal with you to get to know more about your real estate business. My treat, of course. I have Thursday at noon or Friday at 1 available. Which works best for you? Right? Very easy script. And again, you're asking a question up front. Do you have any questions or need any help putting it together? There's only two things. They either are going to have a question or they're not going to have a question. Either way, you've got an opportunity to go for a face-to-face, because, again, that is your complete goal, is to get face-to-face in a one-on-one situation, because that's where you're going to have your best opportunity to begin bonding and developing that relationship. Were these classes for realtors or the general public? You can use this for either consumers or realtors. These are the strategy itself that I'm covering, James, can be deployed for either real estate agents or consumers. The only difference is my scripts are obviously for the real estate agent type presentations. I wouldn't be teaching a class on Facebook neighborhoods for consumers directly. My scripts for closing, and maybe that's something else that we can add into. I'm writing this down, scripts for consumer presentations. I'll get some scripts on what to do in your follow-up plan for consumer presentations, because we are focused, the scripts that I'm using, the scripts that I've got on today's class are focused on the referral partner type of presentations. And the reason I'm doing that is because, quite frankly, and just, all things being equal, James, you're going to have a much easier time and a much better opportunity by doing presentations first to real estate agents. You're going to have people show up, you're going to get more opportunities, and you're going to have more opportunities to ask for business. When you do consumer direct approaches, you've got to get 20 to 30 people in a room and hope that you get one or two to buy. It's going to cost you a little more money because you've got to entice them to come to your webinar. Typically it's with food, a dinner, or a lunch, or something like that. It's just a little bit different animal. And that's why I'm kind of focused on the realtor side of things, because the realtors, they're begging for information, they're begging for education, they're begging for ways to grow their business, and you can be the guy that provides that to them. Okay? Hope that helps. Hope that helps. So these are some, just a basic script, and again, you simply go into it with a question of, hey, do you have some questions, or you need some help putting it together? You're offering to help them. And then based on whether they got if they've got a question, great, let's get together. If they don't have a question, oh, cool, you got some value out of it. Let's get together anyway. So it's all about focused on that face-to-face opportunity. Have your cards pre-written, ready to go, in a just fill-in-the-blanks sort of format. And I'm talking about even taking those cards and handwriting out. And you could have a whole bunch of them. Notice that I'm pretty ambiguous in the handwritten card because I want to be able to sit down and knock out a ton of these things no matter what class I'm doing. I want to have several, have a bunch of these ready to go in envelopes, so all I've got to do is address them when it's time, right? So it would be, hey, Freddie, thank you for attending the Facebook neighborhood fan page class the other day. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Your friend and lender, your signature goes there, and then you don't put your phone number on that part. You just include a couple of business cards in the envelope. So I can pre-write this pretty much and have it ready, ready to go, and all I've got to do is put their name in there, put the class in there, address the envelope, out the door. That's it. Doesn't take much time, and again, this is not the strategy you deploy if you're doing CE presentations and you've got 150, you've got 100 real estate agents that showed up. That's not for this one. This is for when you do those presentations that the agents wanted to learn something and you've got 10 or 12 of them there, right? It doesn't take much time to get 10 or 12 of these things out within a week. If I do 4 a day, that's 3 days. They're all going to be delivered within a week. If I just did 4 a day, that's 12. All right? Make sense? So you pre-write these things. You have your script for your calls ready to go before you even do it. You've got your email pre-written, ready to go before your presentation, so that when the presentation happens, you simply deploy your formula and it's boom, 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 and it happens. Now you've got a good follow-up. If you did not get to the face-to-face opportunity, keep calling. Again, remember, the 90% of sales take place after the third contact. So if you call one time, if you send an email, you send a card, you make that call, and you didn't get the face-to-face, well, you're going to call again next week, and then the week after that. Now, for me, my number is 10. If I've called you 10 times and you haven't returned a call, you haven't agreed to a face-to-face, for whatever reason, there's just not a fit there, see ya. Good luck. Take care. I hope everything works out for you. I'm moving on to the next agent. Remember our good friend Cindy Ianson says, some will, some won't, so what? Next. Move on. Okay? But give them an opportunity to get to know, trust, and like you before you just move on. Don't make that determination after one phone call. They don't know you yet. They may hang up on you on that first call. They don't know you. They maybe sat in a presentation, but they don't really know you. It's unlikely that they're going to hang up on that first call. If it's a person that came to a presentation, it's unlikely. They're not. It won't happen because they already see you as somebody that's above the rest, And so they're going to give you that due respect based on that, based on the fact that you were the one that presented. So you're likely not to get hung up on. But if you do, don't give up on that one hang up if it's in the beginning. You know, if I'm 4 or 5 calls into it and you hang up on me, yeah, you're done. But on the first, maybe second call, I'm not going to give up. If I left you a voice message and the next time you hang up, I'm going to call you again on the 3rd try, see what happens. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get to know, trust, and like me because you just don't know me well enough yet. And if I do have to make that other call, it's just very simple. It goes back to our original calls. You don't need to keep bringing back the presentation. You're simply following up now. You've already done that. Within that first 7 days, you've reminded them. If you don't get that appointment then, now it's just simple follow-up. Hey there, Freddie McRealty, Paul Baxter over at Legacy Financial Group. Hey, I was just calling you today because I know how serious you are about your real estate business. I'd love to treat you to a cup of coffee and explore if I may be able to help you build your business a little bit. It'll only take about 20, 30 minutes of your time. Is Thursday at 3 or Friday at 2 better? Oh, I'm real busy. Of course you are. You've got a great real estate business. You wouldn't, you know, I expected you'd be busy, but you got to eat sometime, right? How about I treat you to a lunch on your time, you know, based on your schedule. We'll share a meal together, give us a chance to get to know one another and find out if there's some things I can help you with. Very simple, okay? And so, you know, your multiple contacts, it just goes back to that original call. Hey, I know you're serious about growing your real estate business. Man, I would love to treat you to a cup of coffee and explore how I might be able to help you build your business a little more. Only take 20, 30 minutes of your time. You know, I'm respectful of your time. I know how busy you are. I got Thursday at 3 or Friday at 2. Oh, man, I just can't get out of the office. Oh, that's all right, man. If you, how about I bring the coffee to you? We'll sit down for a few minutes. Give you a little bit of break of the minutia anyway. Does that work? Perfect. Well, let's go. If you're doing presentations consistently, you can mix in an invitation call. And this is a cool part. This is something to remember and make it part of your plan. It could be even something as far as making a special note on your tracking sheet that denotes that this is what you're going to do. So if I'm doing presentations consistently, like let's say, for instance, I do a presentation on the first Tuesday of every month with my title partner. We get together first Tuesday every month. We're doing a presentation of some sort. Well, after 3 calls, we've come full circle. Now I can re-invite that person. Hey, Freddie, Paul Baxter, Legacy Financial. Listen, I'm calling to let you know I've got a new training class coming up. It's going to be Thursday, the 8th of January, and we're going to be covering how to market to your database, and I would love to see you there. Can I put you on the confirmation list? So now it's a different reason for calling, but it's another reason to call. It's another excuse. Great, I've got you on the list. Hey, listen, in the interim, man, I would love to treat you to a cup of coffee and sit down with you one-on-one, get to know you a little bit better, find out more about your real estate business specifically. I got Thursday at 3 or Friday at 2 available. Which works best for you? You can still go for those opportunities, but you want to mix up your calls. Don't just, you know, get into the monotony of it, of placing a call and be done with it. If you're doing your presentations consistently, you can re-invite these same people, and that's another excuse for you to bond, build relationship, build that rapport. Again, brand yourself as an expert because you're teaching another class about marketing to your database. Man, I suck at that. Man, this guy's an expert on that. Yeah, I would love to have coffee. Man, I'm not going to be able to make it on the 8th. Is there any way I could get together with you beforehand? No, sure, I guess so. Why not? It's your opportunity. I mean, that's what you're looking for anyway, is that face-to-face opportunity. A big important thing, so kind of recapping what we've talked about today, you got to track all of the steps. Did you send your email? Did you send out your card? Did you call them? How many times did you call them? You know, what happened? What did you talk about in the calls? What objection did you hear? Take those notes. Track it. Keep your tracking sheet clean. What I mean by that is this: delete those that are not targets. If you know you put them all on a tracking sheet that went to your event, and you start doing some research, or you recognize that one of those people is maybe not an above average, go ahead and delete them. That's not your follow-up target. Your follow-up is all about your true targets. Get them in the seats and then figure out who your targets are that were in the seats then. Remove those that are not a good fit. So let's say you've been doing this for your tracking for 2 or 3 months, and you've called people 10 times and left messages, and you notice you've never gotten any face-to-faces with them. Delete them. Just get rid of them. If they're dead weight and they're taking up clutter, making it difficult to read and follow your tracking sheet, get them off the sheet. Keep it as clean as possible. Only the true people that you're truly targeting still are on that sheet. And every aspect of what you're targeting is on that sheet. You know, did you send them a card? Did you call them, you know, this week, last week, the week before? What did you say? What were the objections? That's how you're going to be successful with presentations, is do your follow-up formula with tracking involved. Know what you've done so that you know what part comes next. And now you're equipped with several presentation types. We talked, like I said yesterday, about lunch and learns, coffee and questions, appreciation breakfast, book of the month clubs, CE presentations, partner presentations with title companies. We've talked about a lot of different types of presentations. You've now got a follow-up formula for your presentations. You've got a good tracking sheet to make sure that no stone gets left unturned and that you stay consistent. You've pre-written an email. You've got a call script ready to deploy, and you've got pre-written cards ready to plug in your basic information, your fill in the blanks, and send those bad boys out. Join me tomorrow for a full and complete done-for-you presentation that every top agent should be using for their farm areas. So tomorrow on our Friday class, I'm going to be doing a presentation to you guys. Basically, when you come on to tomorrow's class, I want you to, before you click the join webinar, put your real estate agent hat on. Just come in pretending that you are a real estate agent, because I'm going to be presenting tomorrow's class to you as if you were real estate agents, and I'm showing you how to use Facebook neighborhood fan pages for your farm area. We're going to cover everything from how to build the doggone page out to how to promote the page to the neighborhood and get the local residents to start signing up, to how to engage with them when things come up and how to use it for their business. So it's going to be a great presentation. Just put your real estate agent hat on when you come in tomorrow, because I'll be presenting to you as if you were real estate agents. And I see there is a question in here. Is this a message you would leave on an answering machine to the realtor, like using phone burner, or would there be a different script to use as the answering machine message? No, my answering machine message when I'm calling, depending on what I'm calling for. So if it's the first call that I'm making on after a presentation and I get their voicemail, it goes something like this. Hey, Freddie, this is Paul Baxter over at Legacy Financial. Listen, I just wanted to check in, make sure you didn't have any questions or need any help getting your Facebook neighborhood fan page put together that we talked about on Tuesday last week. If you do, give me a call, 727-555-1212. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great day. So I just take my script and I turn that into a voice message. On this one, if I'm following up with this script, my voice message would go, hey there, Freddie McRealty, Paul Baxter over at Legacy Financial, just following up. I know you're serious about your real estate business, and I would love an opportunity to talk to you about it sometime. Give me a call when you get a chance, 727-555-1212. Look forward to hearing from you soon, man. Have a great day. That's it. So the voicemail is the same as the call script. You just tweak it a little bit to become a script, you know, a voicemail. That's all there is to it. And that is the presentation for today, guys. Like I said, I knew we were going to, it wasn't quite as long as yesterday's. We got about 20 minutes left. Are there, and I know we've covered quite a few of the questions that we've had here, but I want to make sure that you guys don't have any questions about what we're doing right now. Or what we covered today, scripting, that kind of thing. No questions. Okay, so it looks like I've covered the questions that came through during the presentation. Jim, great question. James, great questions. Again, to reiterate, Jim, you definitely are bringing as many realtors to the seats as you can. You want to limit it. And one of the things that I have seen some of the top lenders that do this will do is they will actually put a seat number on the registration, and once it fills up, they'll actually close registration, and they'll create what's called a waiting list. And what's cool about that is it gives exclusivity. It starts to paint a picture to the agents. Wow, I can't even get in. It changes the mindset just a little bit. It goes that much further in helping branding you as the guy or the girl, as the case may be. So don't be afraid. A mistake that I've seen some people make is that they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a great response. Let's get everybody that's signing up for this in there. Don't do it. Avoid the temptation to do that. Make sure that you keep it to a small number, because the more people that you get in there, the less opportunity you're going to have to bond and develop a relationship. Also, think about presentations that you've been at yourself with a large group of people. I know me personally, I'm not going to share my stories in a group of 100 people because there's 98 other people or 99 other people that I don't think, they don't want to hear my story. They're here to hear the presentation. So I may not share. I may not explain to you as you're telling me something, and you're going through a presentation and you touch on a pain I've had. I may not say, oh man, that's happened to me. Man, you know what? I do that. I don't follow up great with my past database. I haven't sent them anything. They won't share like that with the larger groups. The smaller groups will absolutely start to share. When you've got 8 or 10 or 9 or 11 people in a room and you're doing a presentation and you're making it engaging and interactive, and you let them know by your interaction, asking questions, getting them to engage with you during your presentation, they start to recognize that it's okay to do that. And what will happen is just randomly as you go, people will start to share their stories. They'll start to share their experiences with what you're presenting, or they'll start asking questions. That's when you know you've got them engaged. Really, really, really good stuff. Excellent presentation. Thanks, Paul. See you tomorrow. This is going to be a major strategy beginning in January. Bill, I'm excited to hear that. With what you do with video already, Bill, that's going to tie in really, really nicely with bringing the agents into you doing those presentations. And one of the things I'm going to recommend for you, Bill, is partner with a title company so that you can, provide some, do some fun things. Another thing that we're going to talk about, or we kind of talked about yesterday, is have fun with your presentations. We talked about the extras of your presentations, the little tchotchkes to give away to start getting that engagement. All right, who can tell me what the size has to be for your fan page cover? Who remembers that from the presentation? Great, good job. Here's the Snickers bar. You want to remember those things, and that gets those engagement. What you can offset the cost of those types of things by partnering with a title company or having a venue already set up. Or one of the ways we're going to talk about promoting is partnering with a title company and have them get that information out to the agents. Now they're getting hit from multiple areas. You get it into LinkedIn, you get it onto Facebook. So great stuff. Bill, I'm excited to hear that you're going to implement this, and I'm hoping I can be part of it and help you out with it, because I firmly believe this is one of the best strategies out there. I'm going to tell you guys straight up honest, being 100% honest with you, the top loan officers that I know, every single, well, all but one of them do this. All but one of them. And the one that doesn't, she has basically on her team, she's got a person that's all that person does is presentations to offices. She goes and she's part of it, but she doesn't do the presenting. She just kind of fuddles around. Her main strategy is pay for play. She does a lot of putting loan officers into real estate offices, and some at a cost as much as $2,000 a month, or I think there was one that was like $5,000 a month, one office. There's 120 agents in the office, but it's $5,000 a month. but that's her strategy. That's what she does. So all of the top producers, though, for the majority, all but one of them, are doing presentations in one way, shape, or form. And I'm talking about producers that are doing 30, 35 loans, 40 loans. What's his name out in California that his team does close to 70 loans a month? It's a huge team, though, don't get me wrong. He's got like 60 or 70 loan officers working under him. I mean, it's huge. It's crazy, silly huge, and it's mostly a dial center, a call center of people just sitting there dialing for dollars. It's all they do all day. It reminds you of a not Coldwell Banker, a Wells Fargo setup, but it's not that. But a lot of the loan officers are doing these presentations, and the reason they're doing it is because it is that one thing that gives you that opportunity to get out there, to get people to see you as that expert. And I promise you this, you do the right kind of follow-up to people that you've presented to or you've had come to one of your presentations, I promise you that will turn into loans. I'm going to tell you right here and now, local in my area, and a lot of you know, good friend of mine, Mr. Brian Heckman, his entire business right now, where his business is today, when him and I first met each other, he was doing 3 or 4 loans a month. That's it, consistently. His business does anywhere from 15 to 25 loans a month. He averages 17 loans a month, I think, is what his average number is per month. He's a one-man guy. Well, not a one-man guy. He's got a little team of 3 now, processor, an assistant, but that's new. And his entire business was created based on the presentations that he does. He got so into it that he was doing a presentation every 2 weeks, like clockwork. Partnering with people, getting people in, getting brokers excited about it and everything else. So I've seen his business. Another friend that you guys know and a contributing faculty to Mortgage Mastermind Group, Mr. Richard Smith, same thing. He's down in the Texas area. I want to say Houston or Katy, Texas. Same exact thing. That's his entire business model. He's gotten to a point where he's doing 3 or 4 presentations a month. That is the only way he finds agents, and those are the only agents that he follows up with are agents that come to his presentations. And he is doing fantastic business right now. He is part of the Leader One group, and so I get his actual number, and I don't want to share that with you, but he is doing fantastic business right now. Upwards of 20 loans a month, guys. I mean, it really does work, and I highly recommend that you guys do this. What are some of the topics of presentations? How to market to your database, how to build a Facebook fan page for every listing, how to build a Facebook neighborhood page for your farm area. The 30-second elevator speech is a great class to do for real estate agents. Video marketing basics, great class to do for real estate agents. Developing a follow-up plan, great class for real estate agents. What else are great classes for real estate agents? Facebook ads decoded is a great presentation you can make to real estate agents. The FSBO class, convert that into specifically speaking to real estate agents, great class to provide to them. What else is some good topics? You can always good topics. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that you're focused on things that can help them, but you can mix in things like, understanding the difference between an FHA 203K streamline and full programs. How to talk to a veteran about their benefits in purchasing a home. These LOs, are they doing real presentations to realtors like Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, RE/MAX, etc., or just small mom and pop realtors? Both. Here's the thing. They're getting it out there, they are approaching brokers and doing the boutique shops, the mom and pop, and specific to a broker office, but they're also doing presentations where it doesn't matter who you work for. It's a presentation that is meant to help real estate agents and agents from all different, you'll get RE/MAX guys in there, and you'll get some Keller Williams guys in there, and you'll get some mom and pop guys in there, and a couple of Exit Realty guys, and some Future Home Realty guys. It's a big mix. So you're not focused on any one group. Now, don't let them tell you different. The Coldwell Bankers and the Keller Williams and the Remaxes, yes, they do have corporate trainings available to them. They do have corporate trainings available to them. That's fantastic. And those are great. I highly recommend anytime you can educate yourselves on any subject that's meant to help you grow your business, I highly recommend that you do that, Mr. Agent. What I'm going to be teaching on specifically is how to use Facebook fan pages to build a neighborhood page, and then how to market that to your farm area and get people to engage in it so that you can actually gain more listings and gain exposure and really get known in that market area. Is that something that would interest you or would benefit you in your business? If not, cool. I'll let you know when my next one's going to be. If so, awesome. Come and join us. Do they do the trainings at realtor offices or other locations? Well, just like we talked about, that's what yesterday was all about, James, is different presentation types. So yeah, they'll do them at the realtor offices, but they also do presentations at a park, and do it at a picnic table and have horseshoes and games to play that are fun. They do it at a Total Wine and do a wine tasting mixed in with their presentation. They do it at the local Dave & Buster's, where they give out, you do your presentation, and then for funsies you give out $5 game cards and play games. They do it at the Panera Bread for the coffee and questions, and have a little piece of the restaurant. So yeah, you mix it up. It's all different places, all different kinds of things, all different kinds of ways to do it in fun. It's 32 degrees outside today. Yeah, parks are out for you until probably April or May for sure. Yeah, you want to stick to the indoor activities, like a good fun thing, a bowling alley. Do a bowling, something fun for bowling. Where you get everybody together, everybody bowls a little bit. Those you do little 10, 15-minute presentations, and then everybody has some fun. You do a cocktail party, a happy hour learning experience, and you have everybody at an office or at your title rep's office. You provide some booze, and you do a little presentation. As everybody's getting a little buzz on, they start to open up, and you start to communicate and laugh and have fun and enjoy yourself. So yeah, you mix it up. Just do all kinds of different stuff with your presentations, man. Good, clean fun. That's the key element to it to keep you doing it. Have fun. Whatever you're doing, have fun with it. All right, boys and girls, that is it for today. Again, join me tomorrow. I'm going to give you a done-for-you presentation that you can literally take. All you're going to have to do is add your slide or your information to the very last slide, and it's a presentation you could take, and tomorrow afternoon present it to your real estate agents and be good to go. So join me tomorrow for a done-for-you presentation for your agents to be able to do neighborhood fan pages. And by the way, they work. I saw it on the news the other day that a neighborhood Facebook page for a neighborhood helped stop they were talking about the guys that take the FedEx packages off the front porch and stuff like that. And they said a guy got on to the neighborhood Facebook page, posted something. A couple of other neighbors who happened to be fans of the page also saw it, recognized the kids, turned them over. So people are looking for these Facebook neighborhood pages. They're interested. They will engage with them. They will get in on them. It's cool stuff. We'll get into it deep tomorrow, guys. I appreciate you being here. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you right back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. See you on the flip.